Hey guys, welcome to lakesidemeadows.weebly.com. So we're working on Wednesday today, and I just want to go over a few things with you so that you guys are in the clear for your project that's due on Friday. So your project is due in 2 days. 3 if you count this one, which we should. You have plenty that you can do. Contribute to the discussion board if you haven't already, and then ask me questions. This is your to-do list. It's very simple. Um, your creative writing project is due this Friday, March 27th by midnight, no exceptions. You've had it for 2 weeks. I've tried my best to encourage you each day to do a little bit. So make sure that you guys do a little bit. Y'all got me? Great. Okay, moving forward. So I did want to take a second. I got a question about this yesterday. The county or Lakeside, someone told you guys that we would be doing one subject a day. I wanted to ask you guys, is that what's occurring in other classes? Do you need that to be what occurs in this class? I want to do what's helpful to you. And because we had already set up our little video morning routine, and besides this week, because I'm helping with those options, the videos have been like 5 minutes or less. I feel like I'm not intruding on your time, but if I am, please tell me because I have no idea. I've received very positive feedback so far through the journals and through comments that have been made, just saying thanks for doing these videos and like keeping up with us every day. But if it's something you don't enjoy, I need to hear that too. So, wanted to take a second, ask you for your feedback. And now that we've done that, I did want to go over the Brit Lit project with you. Let's go over the last few options. All right, we left off on option 6, which is write a scathing critique in the style of Jamaica Kincaid's Seeing England for the First Time. And here's the link to that article. Even if you're not doing option 6, you should read this article. It's really good. So basically, in that article, she criticizes living in Jamaica and how much in everyday life she was built to think that British things are the best things because of imperialism. And so she just like attacks this idea that, you have to be blonde and you have to drink tea. And we watched that single story video, drink ginger beer to be considered like good. And so that's just one example of an ideology. Like, you guys, anything that we take from society as like a fact that you disagree with, challenge it in option 6. So that's a really fun option for you. Option 7, parody a previously constructed song using the instrumental music while writing new lyrics. So for instance, you would do like Beowulf the musical, and maybe you use Mamma Mia or The Sound of Music or something to make fun of Beowulf. You can do more than one song. Some of the best ones have lots of different ideas. They mix a lot of different songs from different musicals to make, like, I saw one on Crime and Punishment, which is really not a musical type book. So that's a fun one. Any planning you do or like setting up of the scene would contribute to the word count. Speaking of word count, real quick, it says very clearly that every option, choose an option from the following activities, aim for at least 1,000 words or equivalent volume. Okay? That is for every project. That is not a good question to ask me because it's clearly written where you can see it. I love you, but geez, it's 1,000 words. Stop asking me. I'm not going to change my mind if you keep asking. Okay, so 1,000 words for every option. Option 8, create an alternative ending to a work we have read this semester. Again, that's pretty straightforward. Wiglaf, does he become king? Does he become sad? Does he find love? I don't know. You can create anything you want with an alternative ending to any of the stories we've read. If you're looking for a list of things we've read, I did that on Monday in Monday's video. Option 9. Oh, here I am, ready to contradict myself. Option 9 is create a children's book in the style of Dr. Seuss to explain one of the works we've read this semester. This will employ rhyming text and plentiful illustrations. This text will be about 500 words or so. Okay, here's the deal. This is the only option on here where you're allowed to write half the amount. This happens for 2 reasons. Number 1, it's supposed to be a children's book, and to ask a kid to read 1,000 words when it's a Dr. Seuss level book is kind of insane. And then secondly, because the only people that should be choosing this option are skilled and professional artists, which I know I have several, they have already started on their illustrations and they've already worked hard on this. So do not change today to option 9. It won't be allowed. If I get stick figures, this is not the option you should have chosen. Y'all got me? Okay, so don't choose it just because it's less words. That will not fly with me. I will read right through that and your grade will reflect it. Love you, mean it. And then option 10, write a written or filmatic parody or satire of one of the works we've read this semester. So you could use the same characters and parody them, or you could do like a Thug Notes, or if you guys have seen those on like literature books, those are pretty funny, or like the Honest Trailers. If you've ever seen any of those would be good for any of the books we've read. And then I just want to take a few minutes. I've gotten a lot of questions about these 5 questions. So at the end of this project on Friday, you're going to turn in this beautiful creative project plus these 5 questions. These 5 questions don't necessarily fit well with all 10 options. The original writer of this project was Mr. Saltmarsh, and it makes sense to me that he would come up with what could work for most of the options, but let's look at one that doesn't work for. So option 5, take 5 meaningful quotes from one novel or play we've read and then apply each quote to a soundtrack. You can't really answer number 1 with that option. So just answer it for the book itself or the play itself. But for number 2 or number 3, you can make the questions work. So what is the purpose of your story? What ultimate truth are you trying to convey to the reader? So like, what's the purpose of the whole soundtrack? Like, what emotion are you trying to get people to feel? For number 3, what is the setting? Like, when should we listen to the soundtrack? Is it on a road trip, or is it like in a different time period? Like, be creative in these questions. I give you the right to reword them. I'd rather you not answer them about the original text because we all know the answers to these questions for the original text. But just think about it this way. You're creating something, like a director finally creates a movie, and then they go to like press junkets and conferences or interviews, and then they're asked questions about the choices that they made. So if you need to even like rewrite 5 questions that are interviewing you, the artist, about the work you've created, and that makes more sense to you, then go for it. But the heart of the idea is the same. You're turning in 1,000-word project plus 5 questions that are about your project. If that makes no sense to you, please ask me questions, but I'm hoping that actually clears up a lot of things for you guys. Also, make sure that you guys go under resources, under the Coronavirus Project to option discussions. Make sure that you guys have contributed to discussion in some way. So I can go on here to see what Abby's doing. Can we use quotes from different novels, or does it have to be one novel specific? That's a great question. It has to be. And actually, I wanted to show you guys too. Someone's already done this. You can either reply down here, or I can reply with quote. And what that will do, it'll like populate my box with what Abby said, and so that everyone can see what I'm responding to. It needs to be one novel. Closed. Make sure that you guys have contributed to at least 2 discussions, or you've made 2 comments or questions to receive full credit. That is due by 8 p.m. tonight. So contribute to the discussion board if you haven't already by 8 p.m. tonight, and then your project is due on Friday. If you have any questions, comments, if you absolutely hate these videos, please let me know. If you love the videos, please let me know. I truly miss communicating with you guys on a daily basis. So please just give me a shout out. Let me know how you're doing. And yeah. All right. I love you. Have fun. Ask me questions.